Yo, haha, Bill Nicholson.
What is good, YouTube? Your boy Bill Nicholson coming back with another quick video. Today we got the Air Jordan 12 Cherries. This shoe is actually a highly coveted shoe, at least for the sneaker community when it first initially released in 1997. But when it debuted in 1996, and of course I've seen it a couple times, Mr. Air Jordan himself, he was doing his thing. There was only one highlight that I do remember from the Air Jordan 12 Cherry series in which he did wear. Of course, that's where the infamous Iverson crossover took place. But as Jumperman Chris alluded to me that, the Chicago Bulls, yeah, they did win that game against my Sixers. But of course, hey, Iverson won the moment. I'm just saying. But going back to the Air Jordan 12, the Air Jordan 12 model, specifically the Cherry model, that model was Jordan's favorite, right? So when you're looking at the Air Jordan 12, and here's the box. This is from the Nike shock drop that happened not too long ago. The Cherry colorway is Jordan's favorite, and just because of what it really symbolizes, right? So, of course, Mr. Jordan himself goes to Japan. If I'm not mistaken, had a basketball clinic around 1996, 97, actually 1996. Goes to Japan, maybe 95. Goes to Japan and kind of sees the environment for what it is. It's very beautiful, mystic, and you name it. And of course, that motivates him to create a Air Jordan after the Air Jordan 11 model that Tinker Hatfield created. But they wanted to model and pay homage to the Japanese culture with the Air Jordan 12. Keep in mind, the Air Jordan 12 series is the first Air Jordan in the retro series to not feature a Nike Air or swoosh anywhere on the shoe. In fact, it is modeled after the Japanese rising sun flag. And let's get into the shoe, and I'll go from there. Now, regular deck of Nike backs, and of course you got the wax paper that folds pretty much looks like this. And wow, they really doing it big with the whole releases now. So let me just bring this out. Of course, man, as a kid, this is the shoe that I really wanted that I could never get. Very fortunate to actually be doing this now, especially in the game, in the sneaker community. But here we go. We got the Air Jordan 12 Cherries. Now, I can tell you right now that the eye stays on this, definitely not metal. But let's go back to the story real quick before we talk about the actual shoe. So, if you're looking at the Air Jordan 12 Cherries, you're looking at the Japanese rising sun flag, right? So, the Japanese rising sun flag featured 16 rays, right? So, when you're looking at this picture and you're looking at the actual flag, one of the things that I kind of thought about when Tinker Hatfield did this by design was the actual rays themselves. Because when you look on the Air Jordan 12, at least the side panels, bursts actually both on the lateral and the medial side. Let's just look at the side for real quick and look at the rays that we're seeing right here. If you actually count the rays, and this is including the one that actually sits atop on the heel, because that looks like a ray design. If you count it, the red rays on a Japanese rising sun flag equates to 16. And I'm wondering, when they designed the Air Jordan 12, what do we see here, right? Make sure I can kind of get in the picture as I'm doing this. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm just saying, I could be extremely wrong with that, but I'm wondering, typically when designers and, they sit there and they try to put motivation in the shoe by design, you often wonder, what are they doing to make the shoe customized or make it unique to the actual design that they're trying to craft over. Of course, one of the things that you will notice, most Air Jordan 12, you will see on the tongue, it does feature that Jumpman logo with the 2 and the 3. Jumpman logo 2 and the 3 on both sides. It does have foam inside that tongue, if I'm not mistaken, which helps add to the extra padding on there. But most Air Jordan 12s, you also notice that, like I said, predominantly Jordan based. Jordan logos all over the place. 6 Jordans on each side. 6 Jordan Jumpman logos on each side that are exposed. Not talking about the ones that you see on the outsole, not the ones behind the tongue, the ones that are exposed. So if you look at the eye stays, all 4 of them, or the lace locks, you can see that there's 4 here, there's 4 here, that makes 4. There's a 5th one here, and there's a 6th one on the heel. When you combine them together, same locations on both shoes, 6 and 6 makes 12. Air Jordan 12, kind of subtle, like I said. Tinker Hatfield, when he was doing his little creation with the whole Air Jordan 12 series, especially paying homage to the Japanese flag, and if you look at the color, this is what I'm kind of getting at. The Air Jordan 12 was probably one of those bright, actually, you know what? I think it's one of the first shoes to actually debut on national TV, at least in the NBA spotlight, that where it had that bright white and red colorway. It was noticeable on TV. You see these, you know that Air Jordan himself was wearing this. It was kind of like, once you see this, boom, it stood out. It was one of those loud colors of before in the past. But continue on in the shoe. Of course, you got the snakeskin mud guards that sits on the lateral and the medial side. Of course, you got that rubber outsole that you see on the bottom with the herringbone traction pods, both on the ball and the heel of the foot. You got that midfoot carbon fiber shank plate that sits on the fine line midsole. And honestly, man, looking at this, if I were to compare the leather quality on the uppers with the playoffs, man, as much as I love the Jordan 12 cherry colorway, the Jordan 12 playoff, the material, the leather quality, I don't think it's hard to beat that quality in terms of a general release. But the Air Jordan 12 cherries, I mean, just looking at this looks so beautiful. And to see Air Jordan himself playing this, and of course he won another championship in '97. But of course you got that black outsole. Black outsole. Did I just say that? The black insole. And of course, there's a Jumpman logo on the actual insole itself. Let me just take this out. Black sock liner, of course. And the reason why I point that out, because it won't dirty up as fast as most Jordan shoes, at least some Jordan shoes that have that white interior, you know. But if you're wondering about the actual insole, let me pull this out because I did want to point this out. It's the same insole that is used in the Air Jordan 12 playoffs. So it is very, very highly identical. The comfort level, in my opinion, you really can't miss it, especially with that Nike Zoom Air full-length unit. It is the first Air Jordan to actually feature it. You can see right here, this is the, man, you can tell that. See, this is why I take care of my shoes. Air Jordan 12 playoff insole. Actually, Air Jordan 12 cherry, Air Jordan 12 playoff, but they're pretty much the exact same material. But going back to the shoe, to kind of round it off, of course, you got that 2-3 slab on the outsole. And then, of course, look on the heel. Greatest inspired, I always get that wrong, quality inspired by the greatest player ever, of course, Michael Jordan himself, with the 23 number on the back. So you can tell, like I said, when you're looking at the Air Jordan 12 series as a whole, not just looking at the cherry, looking at it as a whole, they branded Air Jordan all over. This is what they wanted to kind of like push out. And this was very, very, very successful when it debuted. So hopefully October 28th, you get yourself a pair of the Air Jordan 12 cherries. I'll tell you right now, you cannot go wrong with this shoe. This is a shoe that's going to stand out when you're walking, man. Everybody know what time it is when you put this on. And again, we haven't seen this release since 2009. And I feel like the only reason why they released it, again, this was Michael Jordan's one of his favorite Jordan 12 colorways out of all of them. This was his favorite. This is the year 2023. It makes perfect sense. But your boy Magnificent Man, Air Jordan 12 cherries. Whew. I really wanted this in the lineup. But before I go to the on feed, I want to say this. A lot of people, or some people, depends on who you are, Question why I do this? It's because I like to do it. It's not to show off like people or some people think. It's literally to learn and understand, because each shoe that I usually acquire, especially from my childhood years, it usually has a story behind it, right? And it brings up nostalgia, brings back childhood memories. I would watch kids have every type of Air Jordan that I couldn't have, but I enjoyed watching that. You know, I couldn't afford that. My mom couldn't afford it. And we learned a lot growing up as children to, whatever we wanted to acquire, we work for it. We earn it. And then when we earn it, you enjoy the luxuries, as long as you take care of your priorities first before your wants. So take care of your needs before your wants. And I want to make sure I make that 100% clear on the Miltnificent channel. Everything that I get, I make sure I take care of my needs first before my wants. So this was kind of like some secret bucket list, what have you, of what I want to do when I grew up, to see if I had the opportunity to get the shoes that I wanted to get when I was a little kid, this being one of them, the Air Jordan 12 Cherries. But your boy Miltnificent, man, I am out. Let's do that on feet. And you guys, stay blessed.